it was pretty remarkable how we hooked up. I actually had a house in North Henry County in Ellenwood, and I put the house on the market thinking I could sell it on my own. And from past experience, I was able to do that. Danny showed up at my front door and said he had a buyer for me. I didn't believe it, and I said, if you can bring me a buyer tomorrow, I'll give you the listing. Total man of his word. What's going on in the real estate market today? A few years ago, housing prices were sky high, and we've seen them subside a little bit. I got a pretty decent price for my home, but I still lost some value on the appraisal, but it wasn't much. We still made out pretty good, but where is the market right now?
Yeah, it's quite an interesting market. We say it's unbelievable because there's so much going on at the same time. It's a little bit hard to really get a bigger picture on what's happening. There's different pockets that are really moving. There's still a lot of demand, and at the same time, some people, because of the high interest rates, are still a little bit on the fence. They're hoping that they'll come down, and it'll be more affordable for them to go ahead and purchase. And at the same time, there's still people that are moving in and out all the time, downsizing, they're being relocated. So it's still a pretty robust market. And at the same time, for a lot of people, the key of right now is affordability. It's getting a little tough because, like you said, prices have been going up. And, pre-COVID and even during COVID, we had these super low interest rates, which were phenomenal.
Yeah, I remember. Right? I remember being at 1-2%.
A lot of people took
I'm
advantage
not there
of
right
that.
now, Dad.
I know, unfortunately, and at the same time, this is a little bit more of a normal market, and it's interesting actually that you're asking that because, I like to keep up with what's going on, and I've been reading up on, what may be happening here soon with the interest rates, and for a lot of last year, a lot of people were saying that they would be coming down this year. It's all tied to the inflation. Yes.
Yeah, and the report came in a little hotter than they wanted it to.
Exactly.
So they've kind of pushed the cutting off of the rates. I don't really see them cutting rates this year. Just I'm tired of getting excited about it, and then we get to that point and nothing happens.
Like the outlook for this year, interest rates coming down, probably unlikely, and they actually may go up a little bit next year. So I think for a lot of people that have been waiting for them to come down and that are hoping that they'll get a better deal on interest rates, that I think they should probably think about moving forward right now.
I put my house on the market. You sold the house within a week to a couple in Florida.
Right.
So is the Atlanta market hotter than every other market across the country, or what is it?
Well, definitely, that's a great question, and definitely the Atlanta market is a very robust, very, we could say hot market. Not that every property will go or fly off the shelf at any price, but when you have a wonderful, a good quality property that's well located, so question is about really going out there and finding that buyer, and exposing the property so that, and also creating that value so the buyer can, move forward. So that's what we were able to do.
When you approached us and said you had a buyer from Florida, I didn't believe you. I gave you the opportunity to prove it to me, and it didn't take you long to do so. So how do you find these buyers that are out of town?
You gave me the benefit of the doubt, and I really appreciate it. It was an honor and a pleasure to help you and your family. The short answer is that we've got buyers that are looking to move to our market, every day. And so the key is to really expose your home and market it properly to actually be able to connect with that buyer and make sure that they'll move forward, at a price that will work for you. And so I think, marketing, and I'm not going to give you all my secrets, of course, but marketing and I think salesmanship too, really it plays a big part.
What about the home in Ellenwood? What made you give us a call? What was it about that particular market that made you interested in working in that area?
Well, for me, it's really all about people, right? It's about really providing the best service possible. And as we know, for most people, buying a home, selling a home, it's going to be their biggest investment of their lives. So I take it very seriously, especially for people that have had a chance to have lived in their home for a while. They build up equity. I feel it's my responsibility to make sure that I protect that equity and make sure that you as a seller can really get every penny out of it. But just in case, it doesn't work out the way you had planned or hoped, that's what I'm here to provide. So I don't know that it's necessarily anything about the Ellenwood market, but it just so happens to be part of the market that I work. You were a ready, willing, and able seller. My job is to help you if I can.
You know what was so wonderful about working with you? You had us a buyer in less than a week in Ellenwood.
Yeah.
We started looking around. Initially, I was looking at building a home.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't looking at having an agent for that. And I said, you know what? If he can sell my house in 2 or 3 days, he should probably help us with the purchase of our new home. So we found a home in Lake Dow, and you negotiated that process so smoothly. And I love the way you negotiated that price from almost $1 million all the way down. So we came into this house with just as much equity as we left Ellenwood with. What is your process with negotiating with sellers?
Yeah, again, I feel like it's my responsibility to help you accomplish your goals. This was a beautiful home in an amazing neighborhood, and we had competition, if you remember.
I remember. I don't believe it, but I remember.
There were other buyers that were really fighting to get that chance. And we're looking for a win-win in a way, knowing that really, I'm representing you as the buyer, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to use everything at my arsenal, or at my disposal, to go ahead and make sure that you come out in the best light possible.
You know what I like about you? I'm a pretty tough negotiator, and even though I threw out numbers that may have seemed outlandish, I was serious about those numbers. I really felt those numbers worked. And you didn't push back on me. You actually presented that number for me.
Yes.
And that was what was really impressive about you.
In a market like we're in today, inventory tends to be a little bit on the lower side. So it can be a little challenging to present your best foot forward to a seller, to be leading in that conversation in the driver's seat, to be able to acquire the home, yet at the same time, be able to negotiate a really fair deal for your buyer, for my buyer. So for me, it's all about making sure that I understand what your needs are and what you're looking to accomplish, and then go out there and again use my negotiating skills to work out the best deal for you, if that makes sense.
You also have lots of connections around the finance side.
Yes.
And I started to go with my financial people, and then when you said you had somebody, something just told me, go with your guy. Can you talk more about that?
Well, you're a smart person too, so I think you can feel when there's opportunities and when it makes sense to take a look at a different option. And so, I'm just grateful and I appreciate all the connections that I've made over the years, and everything that the partners provide, whether it's a title company, whether it's an attorney's office, whether it's a lender, and there are multiple options out there, and we don't all fit like a square peg in a square hole. So sometimes we just need more options, and they're out there.
So anybody that wants to get in contact with you and work with you as one of the best agents I've ever worked with,
thank you.
How do they get in contact with you?
Well, very simply, they can give me a call or send a text at 404-213-4025. And then my email is my first name, last name, at 21@gmail.com. We're here to just really support you through the whole process. It can be a little bit of a daunting process. There's a lot of moving parts, right? And at the same time, there's a method to the madness. And if you can have someone to really walk with you through the whole process, step by step, then it takes away a lot of the stress, a lot of the anxiety, a lot of the fear. And then it's all about really helping you, the consumer, accomplish what you're looking to accomplish.